Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And well guys, guess what? New York crypto regulator removes Ripple and Dogecoin from token green list in the latest update. First and foremost, I don't know why they are calling it Ripple. And for the longest time, it's been like a thing around a lot of these articles and stuff to call XRP Ripple, but we all know from many times ago that this is not the case. But nonetheless, that's not the news. New York crypto regulator is removing Ripple and Dogecoin from the token green list, and they are targeting it. So we do see that on Monday, the New York Department of Financial Services announced an update to its virtual currency oversight regime, including new criteria for how digital firms licensed by the agency can list different cryptocurrencies. As part of the revamp, DFS removed over 24 tokens from its green list of approved tokens, including, of course, XRP, Doge, and Litecoin. 8 tokens are still on the list, including Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, and the new PayPal dollar. So this is definitely interesting. Now, we also see that as Congress continues to drag its feet on crypto regulation, the DFS has established itself as a nation-leading digital asset supervisor thanks to its BIT license program and virtual currency unit. This is concerning. So it seems as though the SEC is not the only agency that we have to worry about. We now need to worry about the Department of Financial Services that is, of course, centered in New York. So as we do see this, the question is, what the hell is going on? Well, this comes after we've seen the big win from Ripple back in July 13th to be specific. We even see Ripple Labs notches landmark win in an SEC case over XRP cryptocurrency. And of course, this is from Reuters, right? Like, this was a big update. Now, outside of this, we also see Brad Garlinghouse celebrating in front of the SEC. This was on the 19th. And when we really kind of look at this, the question is, what's going on? Like, is there any transparency? Is there any clarity at all? No, there's not. And in fact, New York has been one of the worst areas for crypto. I remember when the XRP lawsuit dropped, I think that Uphold was the only exchange really that you could go to for XRP a few months after. And I even think that in New York, we were seeing people getting blocked out. And even right now, it's extremely hard to purchase any crypto in New York. It really is. And it's sad. But we know that this has been a thing that they've been pushing for a very long time. Here you guys have from back in March of 2021, March 1st. New York Attorney General warns cryptocurrency industry, play by the rules or we will shut you down. And it's like, what rules are there? Because from what I've understood, there basically is none, because there's no transparency, there's no clarity. So I think that this is interesting. Now, also, the big question is, are these actions really to help the retail investor? Or is it just another game that's being played? Because for those that have been around for a while, we know that politics, they have played a role. We see over here, pretty major. Would be a pretty poor political response to choke out crypto innovation in the US. This goes back to March of this year. Instead of burning down an industry, maybe they should properly provide the correct guidelines and oversight. Regulation failures mounting up so far. And this was again during the anti-crypto message that everyone was talking a little bit about back in March. This was talking about Silvergate and SVB and Signature. They were winding down their business. And also remember that a lot of these major banks that were a part of crypto, that were actually pro-crypto, they were forced to become anti-crypto. That's right. And we even see down here, like, why regulators seized Signature Bank in third biggest bank failure. Like, it was shocking to a lot of people, because like, as we looked at what was happening, we were seeing the regulators and those turning a blind eye and saving other big banks. Like we even see here, like for his part, Frank, who helped draft the landmark Dodd-Frank Act after the 2008 financial crisis, said there was no real objective reason that Signature had to be seized. I think part of what happened was the regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message. We became the poster boy because there was no insolvency based on the fundamentals. So they basically, made this bank seize operations due to them wanting to send a strong anti-crypto message. Now, again, this was during March of 2023. Then fast forward to, here we have September 18th, Senator Warren's crypto money laundering bill builds momentum as more sign on. 9 of the new supporters, all Democratic. And listen, this is not about politics here, but when we see a trend growing, it becomes evidently clear. When you see one of the U.S. Senate's top crypto critics, Elizabeth Warren, has drummed up some high-profile names to back her crypto legislation meant to target money laundering. And we talked a little bit about this bill. It's extremely damning. Now, what's funny about Elizabeth Warren is, well, guess what? You go back in time. Here you guys have 9 months ago, Elizabeth Warren pushes bipartisan bill to regulate crypto firms after FTX collapse. Interesting. She is still trying to get this bill passed. But you know what's funny about this? This was December 14th. We know, actually, that Elizabeth Warren had close ties with Sam Bankman-Fried. So like I said, a little over a month later, we found that she is trying to push this bill, utilizing FTX as an example. And this is when we start to think a little bit, is this all because they want to make, crypto obsolete? Is it, them trying to, kill crypto? Or are they trying to target retail? What's going on here? Because again, right after FTX, we had Elizabeth Warren spewing her nonsense. But this was not the only time. We also seen it right after Luna as well. And we're talking about, hours after Luna imploded. But we do see down here from Ryan Sheen, I have it open over here as well. But it's pretty straightforward. According to him, Bankman-Fried's father, Joe Bankman, endorsed a tax bill introduced by Senator Elizabeth Warren in April of 2016. His mother is in charge of a political action committee that helps secure Democratic funding from Silicon Valley banks. He also points out the irony in Warren's response to the FTX collapse, which the senator generalizing that the crypto industry needs more aggressive enforcement and stronger rules, while failing to mention Bankman-Fried's $39 million donation to her political party for the U.S. midterm elections. That is right. These are the people that got those donations. Elizabeth Warren also, if you look up her net worth versus her salary, it is comical. Where's all the money going? We need these people to be investigated. But she was going all over Twitter talking about the implosion of FTX was a big wake-up call. Here's November 9th. The collapse of one of the largest crypto platforms shows how much of the industry appears to be smoke and mirrors. Down here, the implosion of FTX must be a wake-up call for Congress and financial regulators to hold this industry and its executives accountable. According to the Federal Election Commission, Bankman-Fried's mother donated $15,500 to political candidates in 2022. Look at all of these individuals here. Very interesting. Then down here, but Bankman-Fried's political ties run even deeper. The former FTX CEO used to date Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison. Her father was a U.S. SEC chair, Gary Gensler's boss, when Gensler taught a course on Bitcoin at MIT. Also known as SBF, graduated from MIT in 2014 with a degree in physics. And here you guys have that tweet that got posted by Elon Musk, by the way, back in 2022. Again, this is the big problem. And we do see, like Warren, Gensler is part of the Democratic Party that received generous donations from SBF as well. Now we see it, right? But we went over all of this, yet nobody really cares about this. People need to look into this. And this is also why Gary Gensler is worth almost $100 million himself, even though his, again, salary doesn't even come close to that. Now, of course, we already knew that Gary Gensler had ties with FTX because they did meet with FTX months before the collapse, which again, like this was confirmation of our theory that FTX was an inside job. They had to make a big statement. It really kind of fueled their anti-crypto narrative, and they were able to really kind of get this upper hand on even stricter regulations. But is it succeeding? Are we getting there? I don't know. It's definitely interesting. But I will say this statement from New York around Ripple and Dogecoin and Litecoin, like this is definitely concerning because it shows that we are not yet out of the woods. But I think that all of this is political. You know, I hate to be that guy. Like, listen, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I don't care. When you let it come into play around certain things, though, that's where it bothers me. And we even see over here, like, Democratic rep took donations from Sam Bankman-Fried, lobbied against crypto regulation, and now blames SEC for FTX's collapse. Like FTX during that time, like the whole time, it was getting interesting every single day. Because what we seen was more and more connections, more and more corruption, and it really just shows you that money can buy you anyone, especially if they are a politician. But also, just recently, I said, wait, what? Because we see here, SBF's mom encouraged him to avoid disclosing several illegal political donations using stolen customer funds, FTX lawsuit says. All right, well, now, instead of just going after SBF, we need all of the politicians to pay back all of those funds. That's what we need. If they don't, all of them should get arrested. Or at least investigate it. But that won't happen, right? Because they're higher up on the food chain. They don't get investigated. They don't get targeted. Like, this is the problem. But also, the reason why I bring up Operation Choke Point as well, right? Because we uncovered that back here in March of 2023. Well, guess what? Check this out. September 10th, Senator Bill Hagerty, Operation Choke Point 2.0 is live and being targeted at taking out the cryptocurrency industry in America.
About Gary Gensler's crackdown that's paving the way for a central bank digital currency. Look, I think he's trying to strangle crypto through the courts. What's your take?
I think you're exactly right, and we're seeing it unfold through the regulators' eyes. They're using the FDIC and the Federal Reserve supervisors to essentially execute Operation Choke Point 2.0. This time the targeted industry is the cryptocurrency industry. They're creating all types of uncertainty. You know, Gensler is using the opportunity to enforce via litigation. I mean, to regulate via enforcement. And this is creating tremendous uncertainty. What they're going to do, and this may be their aim, is to push all of the innovation associated with cryptocurrency and the blockchain offshore. They're paving the way for a central bank digital currency, and you have to look no further than Communist China to see what they're doing with the digital yuan, to see the danger in this. Communist China can use the digital yuan to determine what you can buy, what you can't buy,
exactly,
where your currency is good, where you can't spend it, where you can, and they're pushing that out on an international basis right now. We need to be very concerned about these developments.
And again, this is exactly why we need to be concerned about what Gary Gensler and all these players are doing, because it really is a part of Operation Choke Point 2.0, and it's all political. It really is political. I hate to bring it up, but we know that it is. And also, look over here from Eleanor Tourette. This is March 13th. Signature Bank board member Barney Frank says the bank closure was political. I think part of what happened was the regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message. Like, I'm bringing this back up because this is a board member saying that it was political. This is a problem. And even from June, just recently, talking about BlackRock's spot ETF. If it gets approved, it's undeniable that Operation Choke Point 2.0 was orchestrated to drive out crypto native companies and bring in large traditional firms that are buddy-buddy with the US government to try and control Bitcoin and crypto. And we're kind of already seeing that now, right? I mean, look at what's been happening with Ripple and XRP, and then look at what's been happening with all of the big players like JP Morgan, PayPal, Citi. I mean, all of these companies are like these big banks and traditional players are moving faster than crypto companies. They want to try slowing down the crypto native companies and really kind of give a boost to the traditional players because they do want control. And what's insane about all of this is just the fact that, you know, the lack of clarity and the lack of transparency around crypto rules and regulations is causing these players, like, for example, the New York crypto regulator, to now remove these tokens from the green list. This is insane to me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.